A wonderful morning to you. I'm super excited to walk you through the Red Hat Certificate of Expertise in High Availability Clustering. My name is Bruce Malauzi, and welcome back to Sonnet Institute of Technology. This is Module 2, basically the Module 2.1. In this module, we will look at disk partitions, and we are required to make a disk partition, but I'll just have to explain to you a little bit on disk partitioning, and we will create a disk partition in the later module. In this particular module, I will explain to you why is it recommended to use the UUID instead of the absolute path such as /device/SDB. Block devices are located in this absolute path. At the same time, a block device will have a UUID. So the problem of using absolute path is because if you have changes in the block device addresses or path, that will affect your configurations, but the UUID doesn't change or never changes. So we might ask me, how do you get the UUID of a block device? You just have to use this command ls-l /device/disk/by ID. So I'll walk you through and show you where it's located. But before we start configuring, let's get to JNS3 topology and see what we have so far. Okay, we're back in JNS3, and this is our topology. As you can see, we have our virtual IPs and the nodes, the cluster nodes, and their IP addresses as well. So what I need to do now is I need to check how far we've gone with our configurations. So on the IPA server right here, let me log on. Okay, I'm logged in on the IPA server. So if I like to check if my target is running, so that will be systemctl status. Okay, so the target service is running, and just to make sure, okay, so this is what we did in module 1. So as you can see that I have server 1 and server 2 authorized to log on to this target, to iSCSI target, and this is my IP or portal configured, and then I've got my links here. The links is using the block the block device of /device mapper, which is big data, my data. So we named our block as shared drive. So from this side, the iSCSI target is running okay as expected. So let's get to the other two machines so I can exit from here. So let's go to server 1, which is my first node. Let me clear the screen. Okay, so this is server 1, that is my first node. So I just need to check if the iSCSI share has been mounted. So I can use the command ls-blk-scsi. So as you can see, I've got this SCSI share mounted, and it's mounted on SDB. So I can exit from here, go to the second machine, that is my second node. So I can also pass the command ls-blk-scsi. So I have this SCSI here mounted on SDB. So the other thing I need to do is to check the cluster status, which we configured in module 1. So the PCS cluster status. So we see that the cluster is online and both nodes are online. So I can exit from here. The first machine, we can check the cluster status as well. That will be PCS status. Okay, so we see that our cluster is my cluster and it's online. So let's get back to our disk partitions, which we need to talk about. So like I said, we can check the disk UUID by going to /device disk, then we go to by ID. So these are the UUIDs you have. Now remember that in module 1 we created a block partition of 8 gig. So I would like us to delete that partition. This partition here, I think you remember we did create a partition of 8 gig and we formatted into ext4. So I would like us to delete, and then we'll later on create a 2 gig partition out of 10. This block device has a 10 gig. So let's verify that. So that will be lsblk, as you can see. So SDB is a size of 10 gig. We then partitioned with 8 gig. So I'd like us to delete that and have a clean partition, a clean block of 10 gig. Then we'll create partitions out of the 10 gig as we move on through the entire video course. So we don't want to waste space, because we created an 8 gig partition and we are wasting space that will affect us in the upcoming modules. So let me delete the partition, and you can use parted command, you can use fdisk command, you can use cfdisk command. So I will use cfdisk command for the purpose of recording. So that will be cfdisk device and STB. So I like to delete this partition here. So I will go to delete. Okay, so the partition has been deleted and it's going back to 10 gig. So I can write my changes and confirm with a yes. I can press Q to quit and clear the screen. Now I need to force the kernel to reread the partition table. So that will be part probe, and that will be device SDB. Okay, so if I do lsblk, we can see that my partition on the SDB is gone. Now I'm left with a clean 10 gig with no partitions, or can I say 0 partition. So if I do block ID, I don't have SDB1 anymore. So as you can see, it's SDB as a block. And if I go to ls-l and then check the UUID, that will be device disk by ID. So this is my UUID for the block device right here, SDB. So as a matter of fact, if you look closely here, SDB, we got 2 entries here, and if you look at these 2 entries, you can see that it's an iSCSI share, and look at this keyword WWN. It means iSCSI. And if you look at the UUID, it's identical. Can you see that? It's actually identical. So you can use either this or that to represent the UUID, but I'll prefer using the one with the WWN, so that this is the one which I'll be using throughout the video course. And feel free to experiment with the top one that says iSCSI, and it should be fine because the UUID is identical. There's a slight difference at the beginning here, but it should be fine. So do not use two UUIDs at the same time. Select one and do not combine the two. So you use one at a time. So basically this is module 2.1, and I wanted to talk to you about the disk partitions. So we deleted the 8 gig partition which we created in module 1 because I wanted us to have a clean block to work with in module 2. So in module 2, SDB right now has no partitions. It's just a full 10 gig block with no partition at all. In the upcoming modules, we will create partitions, and the Apache partition will be assigned a 2 gig partition size that we'll be working on. And then in the other modules, we'll create more partitions for other services as well. I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.